Welcome back to Crisco's Corner, unfiltered commentary, not your truth, the real truth. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi folks, welcome back from AEI.org. Remembering the black woman Biden blocked from the Supreme Court. Yeah. Oh, you're going to see a little background on the woman that he did block from the Supreme Court. That was a black woman in 2005 as a senator. And also a little video telling him why he would block her. And now he's all hard-pressed to push a black woman on the Supreme Court. These people suck so bad. Hypocrites. All of them. Let's read on before I lose my temper. President Biden wants credit for nominating the first black woman to the Supreme Court. But here is a shameful irony. As Elon Musk said, if irony was a disease, all these people would be dead. As a senator, Biden warned President George W. Bush that if he nominated the first black woman to serve on the Supreme Court, he would filibuster and kill her nomination. The story begins in 2003 when Bush nominated Janice Rogers Brown to serve as a U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. The D.C. Circuit is considered the country's second most important court and has produced more Supreme Court justices than any other court. Brown was immediately hailed as a potential Supreme Court nominee. She was highly qualified, having served for 7 years as Associate Justice of the California Supreme Court, the first black woman to do so. She was the daughter and granddaughter of sharecroppers. Remember that. That's the Jim Crow days. She grew up in rural Alabama during the dark days of segregation, when her family refused to enter restaurants or theaters with separate entrances for black customers. Now he calls the filibuster today an era of the Jim Crow era politics. Meanwhile, this piece of stopped the nominee and said they would filibuster a woman if she was put up for Supreme Court that was a black woman that lived in the Jim Crow South and went through all that horrible stuff. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Well, let's see what this moron has to say concerning this judge.
But I have no intention of filibustering somebody. It depends on who the president sends. But I could see a circumstance. For example, if he set up Edith Jones, I can assure you that would be a very, very, very difficult fight, and she probably would be filibustered.
What about Janice Rogers Brown? Someone else?
Excuse me, I'm not. By the way, I misspoke. Janice Rogers Brown is what I meant to say.
Oh, okay.
I misspoke. Thank you for saying
but
that.
wasn't she just confirmed though? How do you invoke the extraordinary circumstances clause of the agreement of the Gang of 14 for somebody who's just been confirmed?
Because a circuit court of a judge is bound by stare decisis. They don't get to make new law. They have to abide by the, for example,
So what you're saying is the Supreme Court's different than the appellate court.
Right,
okay.
Totally different ballgame.
Now, isn't that amazing? She was the daughter and granddaughter of sharecroppers and grew up in rural Alabama during the dark days of segregation. Her family refused to enter restaurants or theaters with separate entrances for black customers. She rose from poverty and put herself through college and UCLA law school as a working single mother. She was a self-made African-American legal star. She was an outspoken conservative, so Biden set out to destroy her. See, that's the thing. All you good Negroes, just stand in line and think. We'll tell you what to think. And if you don't think like us, you're not black anymore. When are you people going to realize the Democrats are the real racists? She looked like she looked, obviously black. So in his mind, in the Democrats' mind, and he's the current president, that all black people think the same. They think like we tell them to think. And if they don't, they're ostracized. Just another version of plantation slavery. These people suck so bad. Biden and his fellow Democrats filibustered her nomination, along with several other Bush Circuit Court nominees, all of whom had majority support in the Senate. They had majority support in the Senate, probably bipartisan, and they filibustered them anyway because she was a black that wouldn't think like them or think like they thought she should think. Think about that. Republicans responded she had written more majority opinions than any other justice in California Supreme Court. She was reelected with 76% of the vote, the highest percent of all the justices on the ballot. In California, the bastion of progressive craziness and narcissism, she got 76%. And still Biden said no, because you weren't a good girl. You don't think like we tell you to think, so you're out. When Democrats derailed their nomination, Bush were nominated here in 2005. Brown was eventually confirmed by a vote of 56-43, not to the Supreme Court, of course, to the D.C. Circuit. After Democrats released her and several other Bush nominees in exchange for a Republican agreement not to eliminate the filibuster for judicial nominees. Is all this starting to ring a bell with you people? Biden voted a second time against her nomination. He never explained why. If Brown was so radical, Democrats let her through but killed 10 other Bush nominees. Wait to hear this one. The following month, when Justice Day O'Connor announced her retirement, Brown was on Bush's shortlist to replace her. She would have been the first black woman. You saw in the video what he said. What Biden threatened in this video was unprecedented. There has never been a successful filibuster of a nominee for Associate Justice in the history of the Republic. Biden wanted to make a black woman the first in history to have her nomination killed by filibuster. Bush eventually nominated Samuel Alito. Another great choice, but that's besides the point. Today, Biden calls the filibuster a relic of the Jim Crow era. She lived in the Jim Crow era in rural Alabama, for Christ's sake. You can't get more segregated Jim Crow era than rural Alabama in that day. And yet he screwed her over because she wasn't a good Negro. And she didn't think like he thought she should think, so she's out. These people are the racists. But he's trying to use the relic tool to keep a black woman who actually lived under Jim Crow off the highest court in the land. Like Elon Musk said, if irony were a disease, these people would be dead. The irony is now he wants to get rid of the filibuster and claim credit for putting the first black woman on the court. Wait to hear this one. Perhaps a clue lies in the confirmation fight that Biden helped wage. In 2001, Democrats blocked the nomination of Miguel Estrada to serve on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit, the fast track to Supreme Court. According to internal strategy memos obtained by the Wall Street Journal, not exactly what I would call a right-wing periodical, they targeted Estrada at the request of liberal interests who said Estrada was especially dangerous because he was Latino, and the White House seems to be grooming him for a Supreme Court appointment. They did not want Republicans to put the first Hispanic on the Supreme Court. So Biden and his fellow Democrats killed Estrada's nomination, the first appeals court nominee in history to be successfully filibustered. Couldn't get the woman who was black, but he got the Hispanic gentleman. Unbelievable. It paid off, of course, when Barack Obama nominated Sonia Sotomayor as the first Hispanic justice. Democrats' commitment to diversity is a ruse. Biden was willing to destroy the careers of an accomplished Latino lawyer and a respected black female judge to stop Republicans from putting either on the Supreme Court. For Democrats, it's all about identity politics. Indeed, might not have become president had he not made the pledge to nominate a black woman. That promise helped secure the endorsement of James E. Clyburn, who won Biden the South Carolina primary and rescued his faltering campaign. So when Biden tries to bask in the glory of his historic nomination, remember Janice Rogers Brown, the black woman who does not sit on the Supreme Court today because of Biden's disgraceful obstruction. Yeah, to the writer of this, Mark Thiessen, and to our current President of the United States, shame, shame, shame on you. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.